So, moving on, this question is for Miss Aina and the Illuminator. Forgive me, the Illuminator. Okay, so this question is, how do I handle my struggles? As we doing in the journey of self-discovery and also in finding your purpose, and in times of change, you're going to face a lot of obstacles. They're going to be struggles. So how can I handle those struggles, Ma?
Thank you very much.
Yes,
First and foremost, I'll tell you, relax. Can you hear me?
yes, ma'am.
Relax. Everybody is passing through this phase. Some people are in shock. Nobody has experienced this before. This COVID-19 pandemic, it has never happened before. My fathers, my grandfathers, my great-grandfathers, they haven't experienced it. So nobody has the answer. Even United Nations, the almighty United Nations, they don't have the answers. People are only suggesting, they're only saying, it could be this, it could be that. Now, in handling your struggles, as the first speaker has said, you need to learn. What are you learning? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
It feels as if it's frozen. Okay. So I was saying that in handling your struggles, you need to learn. Everybody is struggling through this phase. Nobody has the answer. Nobody can come out and say, oh, this and this and this are the ways, that are the ways to get through this pandemic. But what you need to do is, I want to say this, but don't think that it's overemphasizing it. You need to pray. The first thing, when people stumble into problems or they are in a situation, the first thing to do is they run helter-skelter. They talk to their friends, they talk to their families, they talk to everybody, and they ignore God. This season, God knew it was going to happen. God knew about this season. So have you asked God have you asked him what he wants you to do? Have you asked him for his wisdom? Have you asked him to open your eyes? Have you laid all your options? Have you laid it before him? So, there's a song that says, oh, what pain what pain we bear. There's a needless sorrow we pass through. There's a needless pain we bear. There are some struggles that we don't even have to go through if we actually take time and spend our time before God and ask him. That's one, on the spiritual side of it. Then number two, ask questions. Feel free. Check in. Yes, needless pain we bear. Thank you. Yeah. Check in with your friends. Everybody has one story to tell. I was talking to a teenager who attends Green Springs school, just last week. And she was like, for the first month, she was in shock, as in literally in shock. Why? Because she found out that every day was just a day. So for her, there was no difference between Monday and Tuesday and Thursday and Wednesday, she was just sitting at home. So when she finished reading, on a normal day, she would go to school, come back, she would go and read, then eat, cook, maybe chat with her friends. But, she was just at home all day, reading all day. So, there was nothing like, she didn't even know when to take a break. It really affected her. Even when she was telling me, her voice was shaking. I could feel the pain. So you need to check. Everybody is passing through this phase. Everybody's feeling the pain. Everybody's going through the struggle. Most parents are struggling because they've lost their job. But the issue is, what do you need to do? Number one, after talking to God, talk to your friends. If you are a student, talk to your colleagues. If you are a parent, talk to your wife. This is the time when you need to talk. Let it out. Ask people. There are people that you could ask for solutions. During the pandemic, some people actually do not have, and you are aware, many people do not have means of survival. There was no food, nothing, but they came out to act. In fact, everybody knew, so there was no shame in that. So you need to open up and ask people for help.
Wow. Wow.
Ask people for help. Don't keep your mouth shut. They say that a closed mouth is a closed destiny. Don't keep to yourself. Ask for help. Talk to people. That's what I would say.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. So that was really dealt with. That was a good one. Please mute yourselves. Please mute yourselves. So basically, you need to pray in the face of adversity. Shofmi, please mute yourself. Mute yourself, everyone, please. Thank you. So basically, in the face of adversity, you have to pray. When in these times, you know, this is the pandemic. Aside that, there are disappointments in life. You will face failures. There's so many things you will face. In the face of adversity, you pray and learn from your mistakes. Why am I disappointed in myself? Why did I fail? Ask the necessary questions. And with that, you will grow. And don't bottle things up. Do not. Don't, because by the time you start to bottle things up, then depression starts to set in. Open up to people that could help you. Open up to maybe your dad, your parents, your friends. Open up to people. And with that, you should be able to handle your struggles appropriately. Well, I think because of time, we'll take one more question from Mr. Bolahon before we ask for contributors. So, Mr. Bolahon, this question is for you. It says, I have a lot of ideas, but usually end up with frustration. How can I turn my ideas into opportunities?
Okay, yeah, thank you. This requires certain principles, and from my research, I came up with what I call 7 opportunity codes, because we need to understand what are the principles that guide success in life. What are the principles? You know, you just have to define principles. You have to define guiding concepts for you to be able to attain success and achieve whatever you are set out to do in life. So these are the 7 opportunity codes, which I believe when you have dreams, you have ideas, you have, you know, whatever it is that aligns with your purpose, please understand that your dreams, your opportunities, whatever it is that you have been able to identify must align with your purpose. And that's when you can call it an opportunity. You know, that's when you can actually call it an opportunity. So the first opportunity code, I call it relationships. Yes, the former speaker has, you know, said so well about this. You know, you just cannot, neglect necessary relationships in life. We are human beings created to function and to live within the boundaries of people. You have to understand what are the kind of relationship you have. And of course, because we are tripartite in your nature, we are human beings that have 3 parts functioning all at the same time. We have spirit being, we have our body, and we have our soul. So as a spirit, what kind of relationship do you have with God? As I said, in him we live, we move, and we have our being. If you don't have a formidable, a reasonable relationship that can stand the test of time with God, when situation happens, when change occurs, chances are that you will fizzle out. I pray that will not be your portion in Jesus' name. Then also, what are the kind of relationship you have with your family? Because now you are forced and locked down with your family members. You are forced and locked down with people that probably maybe you don't even want to see. Maybe you are not even in good terms. Now is the time for you to repair those relationships. Now is the time for, because these are necessary people that are in your life that you need to ensure that you have a working relationship with them for you to be able to get to where you are going to in life. Because when you are climbing through a ladder, after all, there are people that will monitor that ladder for you in order for you not to fall off. Your family members are part of those people that God had orchestrated into your life for them to be able to watch your life. So you need to mend relationships that are supposed to be mended. Then also, let me go to code 2, which is research. You know, before you set out, you know, for you to be able to achieve any idea or maybe whatever it is, you need to do what I call visibility study. You need to do enough business case. You need to sit down and look at how logical is even this idea. Is it just a figment of your imagination, or you are just daydreaming? You know, you have a lot of utopian ideas that are not even supposed to see the light of the day. Otherwise, like Fred Nietzsche said, if he had known, he wouldn't have even executed his idea of executing the whole of, you know, his idea was to execute the entire Jew. And we all saw what happened when he set out to accomplish that. So there are a lot of ideas that are killing, that will destroy our generation Y and Z if God allows you to execute them. So you need to sit down Do a proper research, know the objectives and the method to which you need to execute this idea in order for you to be able to know whether it aligns with your purpose or not. The other code is taking reasonable risk. Yes, there is no good idea, even those ones that are bad ideas, that does not have risk entailed within itself. But you need to sit down and define what those risks are. I'm sure that you don't want to enter into, during uncertain times, you don't want to enter into unreasonable risk, because unreasonable risk will definitely land you into a ditch. So you want to sit down to have a well-calculated, yes, there are contingencies, and all this will definitely be taken care of by the time you are doing your research work, and you have sat down to, ask enough questions for you to know the viability and the feasibility of all these ideas that you want to execute. Then the other thing is about reputation. The truth of the matter is there is nothing you want to do in life that you should not attach morality to. We live in a generation whereby morality has been displaced. Morality has been displaced. People does not even know how to define good from bad again. That isn't why it will be difficult for people, even though they have bad ideas, like people who are killing other human beings in the north. I'm sure that they have an idea that they want to take over a land, and the only way they could go about that idea is to kill people. So maybe your own idea, if you sit down and you analyze it, might be that you are going to destroy lives and properties, or you are going to even destroy future generations. So by the time you know that you have a reputation to defend, you have an integrity to uphold, you have righteousness to pursue, then you will know how to navigate through your ideas to ensure that your idea become a fusion. Then also you need to do reflection. Like I said, during this time is the time for you to sit down and have a proper moment of thinking. You need to think and think and think. We are all logical human beings. Anything has to be thought through properly. Everything has to be thought through, so that you don't have to say, oh, how had I known? Why? Because you did not think when you're supposed to think. So now is the time for you to think about all those ideas. Think them through. As you are writing them down, as you are, strategizing on how this will work and how that can work, where you need to put the measures in and all that. Make sure that you do a proper high-level thinking. Even in the business world, in our different offices, we have something we call strategic thinking. So this is the time for you to do those strategic thinking and creative thinking. And through that, you will see innovative and creative ways of, executing that. And even through research, when you discover those creative ways, you will see all the other case studies of people who have similar ideas and how they've been able to succeed in executing them. Then the second to the last one is resolution. You have to make up your mind. If you don't make up your mind, if you are not resolute, if you are not determined, if you are not of a single mind, if you are not focused, if you are not steadfast, if you are not tenacious enough, if you are not dedicated to that idea, if you are not bold and courageous, if you are not firm on your purpose, there is no way, even if you have all the world working for you, if you have all the wealth in the whole world for you, just like an insect that is buried inside sugar. The truth of the matter is, if you don't have this singular attitude or being resolved or being determined, there is no way you can push your ideas into a successful paradigm. And lastly, you need to set boundaries. I call it restraints. I call them regulations. You don't need federal government or the Lagos state government to help you out in certain laws that will guide and bound your life. You yourself, the idea creator, the idea owner, you must set certain boundaries. You must set certain boundaries. You must come to a point whereby you say, I will not use this my eyes to commit lust. You will get to a point whereby you determine that no matter where you get to in life, you will not steal. Just like what the 3 Hebrew men did when they were in Babylon in captivity. Just like what Daniel did when he was in captivity. Before he rose to the top, he had great dreams. Just like what Joseph did. He said, how could I do this and sin against God and against my master? So you have to be, create all those restraints. And one of the things that will help you to create restraints is when you have this sense of responsibility towards God. When you know that God is sovereign over your life, then you have the fear of God and you uphold that fear and you ensure that nothing will go through your boundary, nothing will break down the walls and the fence of your life. And through that, trust me, whatever it is, no matter how big the dreams may be, no matter how small it may be, the Bible says that even if you have a faith as small as a mustard seed, that is all you need. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much for that, sir. Thank you, sir, for that. Wow, it's been a great night. So, so basically it's finding opportunities and change. We've learned that, change is constant. There will always be change. There's no two ways about it. There will always be change. The current pandemic is a change. You repeating a class, it's a change. You feeling disappointed with yourself is a change. You losing a job is a change. Now, what you make of that is what matters. You know, what you make of the change is what really matters. If change happens today and you don't do anything with it, it doesn't change anything. You still face the same problems. If you are facing adversities today, if you don't do anything about it, you will still face the same problems. So you have to know what to do in times of change. Reinvent yourself. Pray. By the leading of the Holy Spirit, you will know the things to do. Through prayers and commitments, you will know what to do. And once you find your ideas, you can't just sleep on ideas. If you sleep on an idea, it will remain an idea forever. You will not actualize it. Do not sleep on an idea. Build it, groom it. You have talents, you have skills. You harness your skills. If you do not know your skills, pray. The journey to self-discovery is forever. It's a lifetime. You will discover yourself almost every time. Pray. You would through prayers. I'm emphasizing on prayers because without God you can't do anything. You need to pray. I can overemphasize it. You need to pray. Even if you have a billion ideas or you have a billion talents, if without prayer, without God, you just be like, you're having talents and you just, you will realize that the purpose of our existence is to glorify God and to bless humanity. So how can you glorify God if you don't have a relationship with Him? You need to have a relationship with God so that you can, that part of your life is very key. No matter who you are, that part of your life is very key. You have to have a relationship with God and you must bless humanity. If what you're doing does not bless humanity, then have you really fulfilled purpose?